Hello everyone, I'm Psychotic, and that's also my screen name. We are back with episode 25 of our Let's Play for Medieval Dynasty. If you learn anything useful today, or if you have a good time, please don't be afraid to drop a like. If you're feeling friendly, maybe go ahead and subscribe, but without further ado, let's go ahead and load in. Alrighty, here we are loaded in. So I did do the field back here yesterday. We did get our respec done in our last episode, but I also did up our fields, so we're in good shape there. Unfortunately, I don't know how riveting today is going to be. Most of today is going to be building and or recruiting, I think, because we need to get our fold up and running, and we need to get our markets up and running. So those are going to be our main kickers. So let's go ahead and see, where can we... Okay. Okay. So this is going to be stone still. So we're just going to jump right into the building. The building's going to help too, because we need the building XP to get to our mine. And that is our next big goal. I'm also going to have to make it a point to start crafting bigger batches of stuff at the end of the stream, even if, like, I need to use all of our resources, because we do not have far enough down the production tree to actually utilize iron once we unlock it through the mine. There are obstacles blocking the build site. Weird. I guess it was me standing there. Okay, 6 logs. This will be a good time to revisit what we've got going on for our production as well, as we have quite a bit of production that is out of sorts between pregnancies and just not keeping up on it as closely as we should have. Hey, Steso. Right? That was by far my favorite part of that episode as well. The Superman off the back of the horse into the field. I'm so glad that was on camera. Oh, I spent the first 10 seconds after it happened going, did that really just happen? And then it just hit me all at once. I couldn't stop laughing. Yeah, you can't buy them until you have a fold built. So that's kind of pointless. Well, and we had been so excited, well, I had been so excited about getting the mine so that we could start getting iron and making iron tools. The problem is there are no iron tools here. So if you come over here, the workshop, or I'm sorry, the smithy 3 is what unlocks iron tools. So we're only halfway to iron on the crafting tree, because we just got the market stall. So even getting the mine's still going to help us to mass produce bronze tools, but even if we get the mine, we're not going to get iron tools for a little while yet. There he is. So when you see surface rocks, and I know there are some over by the starting area, so you should have some near where you set up as well. But if we come up here, like these surface rocks here, if we pull out our pickaxe, it's a rock 100%. It'll tell you need a pickaxe if you don't have one out. And if we harvest it, we get limestone and stone. 2 limestone, 4 stone. That's why limestone is so hard to get. Because, yeah, this whole hilltop's covered now. Like, everything's going to say depleted, and we got 4. So the excavation shed is really the best way to go about getting them. I mean, that's why we have 2 up. The whole reason we built the second one was just to get a bunch of limestone. The upside is... yeah, absolutely. The upside is that a stone house actually is better insulated than a daubed wattle house. So even just the basic stone is going to see better than what you would have had if you had not built out of stone. I actually had to cut back how much fertilizer we were making. So what I did is I figured out how much fertilizer we're using per year. So we have 2 fields of 100. So that's and they harvest 3 times a year. So that's 600. And then we have a field of 30 and a field of 20, which is 50, that we harvest twice yearly. So that's another 100. So we have 700 total that that we're using per year. So I took 700 divided by 12, because there's 3 days per season, 4 seasons per year, to figure out how much fertilizer to make every day. And that should come out even, provided you start before winter. And we did, so it shouldn't be an issue. Services, market stall. Oh, these aren't big! That's good! We can work with this. Okay. So... I think our first couple are actually going to go this direction. So we're going to go west, as close to center as we can get it. I want to even with these guys. We'll put one there. And we're going to do it again. So I think we're going to want a minimum of 3, but we're just going to start with 2. Okay, logs and planks. So let's take... Yeah, our fertilizer's getting out of hand. We've got 400 of it in storage. Our firewood's getting out of hand too, as we've been slowly insulating things. They've been making the same amount as the uninsulated people needed. The only reason I haven't reduced the amount that they're making is we're about to build more houses and get more people in them. So the amount used is going to go up. And I'm hoping that that offsets it. Alright, so what do you need? You need 4 planks, 4 planks. Linen fabric. A bunch of linen fabric. Well, shit. Like a bunch. Oh, it only takes 8 for the whole thing. Okay. I thought each one of these, I thought that was 8, that was 8, that was 8, and that was 8. That's not nearly as bad as what I thought. We're still going to have to go easy on it, though. Yes, food very much matters for workers, or for villagers. If their mood hits negative 100%, they will leave you. They will leave the village. The higher their mood, the more they produce. So that is very, very much important. So remember, we had somebody with a mood of 0 that had a production of 5, and the person who had the mood of 72 had a production of 7. So it's actually a significant gain. But the food, water, and fire are very, very important. And having them in the bigger stone houses makes them more happy as well, which is the main reason that we've been spamming these super huge houses, even though they're expensive, is because we need that mood as high as possible for maximum production. Yeah, it's going to be a really slow episode today with all this building. I mean, it's going to be fun for designing the village, but other than that, it's between the building and the recruiting. Because I do need to go and recruit some people before the season shifts. Because when the season shifts, we're going to get new hobos at the various villages. So that'll give us 2 cracks at them instead of 1 if we get them before the changeover. And remember, when you're recruiting, to know what you're looking for, position-wise, and to always go for the tier 3s. because that's the highest that the hobos are going to start at. But you also want them to start at the highest, because their mood also goes up if they enjoy doing what they're doing. Well, to be fair, my people are still surviving on potage, and likely will be until we start getting cheese rolling in from the sheep. It's one of the most efficient foods. It's not the best food by any means, but it's one of the most efficient. And I mean, they were hobos when we found them, so they can just be happy they have food, right? And they all have nicer houses. Well, we know that we don't get XP by adding resources. We only get XP when the finished tile is done. So we'll stop at 1 left, and we'll check our tech for building. So it looks like we're at 4301.5. Now we are at 4304.5. So we get 3 points for building these nice roofs. And it is per, yeah. See, 4304, still 4304, so it's only when the tile's done. So this should be 4308.5 when this one's done. And it's 4307.5, so I apparently cannot math. But still, that's so... In order to get the last 700 points, that is a whole lot of building. And then we're going to have to do another house over here. So let's do... because we do need more housing. Like, the houses aren't just being built for XP. We actually need the houses. I would never build something just because we needed the experience. Or if I did, I would tear it down immediately afterwards. These actually are multi-purpose. And this one's going to be a wood base instead of stone, it looks like, because of the rays on the hill. So this one's going to require more logs, but less stone. My biggest issue, I think, with the sheep is going to be the buckets, because we're going to have to actually put buckets in her inventory, because every time that they use the buckets to make the cork and then the cheese, we're going to have the issue of... oh, that's where all the copper is. Okay. I feel better now. Every time that they go to make the cork and then the cheese, they're going to make an empty bucket that the well person is then going to grab and use, which is going to be problematic. Yeah, my ultimate goal for this playthrough, before I'll really be satisfied, is to get everything working where it's completely automated, and all I have to do is chill in my house. And they will make their own money, they will make the goods, they will gather the resources themselves, make the goods out of the resources, sell the goods, and then the money will just be chilling there to pay our taxes each year. They'll make enough stuff to feed themselves, they'll make... that way we don't have to do anything. I think at that point I will be satisfied. We are still quite a ways away from that, because we're going to have to get to the iron tools. We're going to have to actually get everything streamlined, get enough people, so on and so forth. And then we need to make sure that we become an heir. That's part of it. And then we need to make sure that the population is secure, that we have enough partner pairings and all of that. The horse is so bloody loud. I really don't like how loud the horse is. I much prefer the donkey noises. I have to deal with it because he's too useful, but... It's not even so much... well, most of it's the loud, but also the frequency. Like, Donkey didn't make nearly as much noise as he did as frequently as he does. So that way we should, in theory, be able to sell our hats, our shoes. And that's the other thing, is our hats and our shoes are heavy. So while they're worth the most, they are the most inefficient to carry to town. So this will allow us to take the hats and the shoes without having to actually go to town with them. So essentially, we're going to try to use the markets to sell our high value goods, because I'm pretty sure that they're not going to sell quickly. I mean, if they were able to sell like 30 in a go, I feel like that would be a little overpowered. Maybe once you get the person ranked up a bit, but I think a tier 3 in there is not going to be able to pull that kind of selling. I'm not sure though. I've been wrong before. Whew. Alright, so there's our 4 market stalls, which will give us 2 houses worth of people. So this one's empty? Yeah, we have 2 empty houses, so if we put the diplomats in these 2 houses, we can put a producer in this house. Nope, maybe not. Was it this house? Yeah, we can put a producer in this house. We can, and then that'll give us our 4 people for there and our producer. At that point, we're going to need some harvesters. So we really need another house, but I don't want to build one right now because it's daytime. I would like to go and work on getting our people. So we're going to go see what the towns have. And we're actually going to take some stuff to sell with us, just because. I don't remember which towns I cleaned out and which ones I didn't, so we'll just check them each as we go. At least with the horse, we'll be able to get around quickly. So we've got some clay vials that we can take. We've got some feathers we can take. We could probably take some fertilizer, but we're going to leave off on that. Some straw hats, some fishing spears. The fishing spears are getting out of hand again. Some fur shoes. What else do we have? That oat grain. How's our rye grain? Nope. Okay. Okay. Yep, we're going to have to leave that alone. So I think that's going to be pretty good. Well, they're making copper hammers now, so why don't we take like half of these? We'll leave them the other half just in case, because sometimes shit happens. Alright, and then we can take the stuff off of our horse that we want to sell. I made 22 shoes. That's how we got the market stalls. Alright. So let's see what we can find. Whoop. Drop a quick save before we leave. Are you one of ours? You are. Why are you wandering this way? She keeps walking down to this town, and I don't know why. Oh good, they have 3 people. Male producer? No? What about, oh, fine. You're gonna make me get off the horse to show me, aren't you? No diplomat. No diplomat, no diplomat. You guys, none of you have anything that I want. Alright, so let's see if we can bankrupt your village.
Only the best products
Oh, good. One of you guys go to production? Please. Please, for the love of God. No. But we have ourselves 2 diplomats, a male and a female. Excellent. We're taking you and we're taking you. So there's a happy couple.
Goodbye.
I like when you're 27 and the 20-year-old market person says that they've been a merchant since you've been in diapers. Like, I'm older than you. Of course, to be fair, that's happened to me in games before, too. I remember I was running main heals in Final Fantasy XIV, and one of the tanks was behaving erratically. And I tried to explain to him the easier way to tank the dungeon that we were in. And he said, I've been tanking since before you were born. I was like, I don't think you have. In fact, I'm quite sure I'm older than you are.
My nature.
It was definitely entertaining. I mean, I'm not particularly old, but I remember playing text-based MMOs on dial-up internet. Like, I'm not young either. Well, I guess old is subjective, though. The older you get, the older old becomes. So, when you're 16, 17, 40's old. When you're in your mid-30s, 40's not old anymore. Yeah. There's nothing worse than getting a call from your grandmother when you're mid-raid, let me tell you. Stop calling, Grandma. I'm the healer. Oh, those were the days. The sound, though, this is as squealing and annoying. Yeah. Yeah. Yep, that was a thing, too. Because they'd go to pick up the phone to make a call, and all they'd hear is squeals. Oh. The sound, as grating as that sound is, especially to people that didn't grow up with it, that sound is oddly comforting to me, even as an adult. Hearing it just brings back nostalgia memories. So this is the donkey place. Oh, we needed to buy a female baby donkey, or a female donkey for Donkey, so he can have a mate to retire with. How much are you? You're $3,000? How much are you guys? You're only $2,000, and I'm imagining you only take a couple of years to grow up, so we're gonna buy you and give you to Donkey as a mate. He's got to wait for her to grow up, but it shouldn't take very long. And I think the minimum life expectancy for a donkey is like 15 years, and ours isn't nearly that old, so... Hey, look, there's a female... Oh my god! Hey, there's a female farmer. Excellent.
How is life treating you?
We'll take you, and we'll take you. So, I totally misread Bogna's name as Baloney. So she's got a 3 in hunting. She's got a 3 in farming. Do you know how much money vendors have? So usually it's around $2,000, Venus. Most of them are between like 1,800 and 2,200 that I've seen, and then they reset every season. So, and there's usually 3 to 4 per town. We made a loop. We bankrupted 3 different villages making our loop, but we made a loop specifically to hit them up for that reason. Let's see, fold. Now, as far as you're a fisher, you're a farmer. We needed a male farmer, though, didn't we? He's a digger. We did need a new digger. And he's a producer.
How is life treating you?
Okay. So him we can actually do stuff with. They'll buy spoiled food. Oh, yeah, because they don't take the poison effect off the food that's almost ready to rot. We have nothing but females here, which is unfortunate because we can't take on any more females. So let's find the sheepies. Sheepies. Yeah, see, that symbol doesn't look like a sheep to me. It looks like a goat. But that is a sheep. Holy crap, you can fit a lot of them in there. They're going to be super cramped because, I did not give them a very big fenced-in area to live in. Oh, let's buy an extra one just because. Really? I wouldn't make any difference for the wool, I wouldn't think, but you would think that, you know, you can't really milk a male. I mean, you can, but that's the kind of stuff that's not YouTube safe, if you get my meaning. No, sheep do too. It says in the technology when you go down to the fold. Doop, 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 doop. Type of animal husbandry building workers employed here will provide buckets of milk and wool. That's why I wasn't going to do goats or cows, because we can get milk from the sheep. Or do goats also go in the fold? Is that what's going on? I suppose that didn't occur to me, but it's entirely possible that two different types of animals go into the same building. Okay, that's why. Okay, that makes much more sense. Thank you for clarifying. Okay, so which house am I throwing the male producer in? Wilburga. It's just one of the 100% houses. Okay. That's probably not a bad idea. I might need to build a second fold specifically for goats then. Yeah, I figured cheese would be worth it for the money. It's also worth it for the food. I mean, they give 65. Yeah, I figured. Okay, cool. He is a male farmer. Perfect. We actually got everything we were looking for. I can't believe it. Yeah, I really don't want to deal with cows. I don't know why. I'm anti-cow apparently. Which is funny because I sure do love steak. But that's maybe it's because I lived next to a feedlot for like 10 years. I just don't like cows. I wonder what town goats are in. Let's find a villager to ask. You there.
Hello.
Hello. She's so friendly. Where can I find farm animals? Goats. Denica.
Goodbye.
Denica is like right here. Excellent. That's our town that's close by. So let's grab a male and a female of them as well. I mean, we've got the money. We were almost at 40 grand. We've spent almost 20 grand just on animals. So I've heard mixed things in various posts and things across the internet about whether or not animals will mate with or without a handler. Some people say that you have to have a handler for them to mate, and some people say that you don't. So I don't have one in the donkey shed, but I do have one in the horse shed. And I know that it's only a chance for them to mate anyway, but I want to see how that shakes out. Change good type. I don't have anything there. Oh, for the love of all that's holy. Okay. There we go. Thank you. Oh. It's like the horse, where you have to put things in your horse's inventory and then go to your own inventory and hit H to actually equip it on the horse. The market's the same way. You have to go into management and then you have to hit C. Okay. Because that... Fair. I played it way back in the day when it very first came out. I put it on my wish list, and one of my friends bought it for my birthday. So that was probably 3 years ago. And I played it quite a bit for a while, but I was disappointed by the single player and got bored fairly quick and moved on to other things playing with my friends. But I have recently come back to it because of all the changes that they've made. And they're doing... And they are working on... Well, yeah, I think you were the one that commented about the new map, the Oxbow, and then the multiplayer's coming soon as well. I unfortunately didn't notice that. The change to multiplayer is what ultimately got me back into the game to begin with. But I didn't see it in time to get in on the beta, unfortunately. But that's okay, because if I had gotten in on the beta, I couldn't do a series because they're all under NDA. So there's that. That's why we haven't seen anything on it yet. We could let him go and banish him. We can cut his hands off, or we can order somebody to cut his hands off. What do you guys think? We got a thief. He was trying to steal stuff from us. Do we let him go and banish him? Do we cut his hands off? Or do we make one of the villagers cut his hands off? Frankly, I'm thinking either we cut his hands off or we let him go, because I don't want to make other people do stuff that I'm not willing to do myself. Don't cut hands? But he's a thief. That used to be a very common punishment for that. Oh. Well, now I wish I didn't know that, because it was more fun when I was just trying to decide what I would actually do as a leader. So you have to let him go, then. 1% of crafting items removed from storage. I've been doing, because for the same amount of leather as a simple bag and 10 fur on top of it, you can get significantly more money for the fur shoes. That's why that's why I went that route. Bags, I just gave a bunch to storage for them, but I'm seriously considering doing something with that. I guess stone knives really aren't the best thing to make for money anymore, because the whole idea behind those was they are light, so they were easy to carry and sell, but we don't need them to be light to sell them through these market stalls. That's the whole idea. We can use these to make significantly more money because of that. So I need to rethink what we want to do for sale. Okay, this looks super cool, because I have each of them selling something different. Their stalls look different. Like, this one's all clothing. This one's all foods. This one's all materials, and I'm assuming this one's all tools. This is so cool! Each stall looks different because we changed what they're selling. Yeah, I'm super happy with that. And I'm really glad that we didn't just, like, double or quadruple up on selling one item, because that would make our stalls very boring. Yeah, that makes... Okay, so we're actually going to move the window in this house, because there will be a window right here, and it's going to basically face nothing. So we're going to put it here so that at least they have somewhat of a view. We'll just buy the recipe for the hood. Wait, does the fur hood? So the fur hood uses the same amount of wool fabric, but it also uses 4 fur. So based on what we're pulling in for fur currently, because we're using we have the right amount of fur and leather coming in, but we're using some of the leather on leather bags, simple bags rather. So I think, yeah. So that's a thing. So I think what we'll do, since we have a discrepancy there, we wind up with more fur than leather, is we will actually make it a point to build the fur hoods instead. So if we look at our wool, how much have we... That was 98. I can't count. Okay, so 96 leather is going to be 12 crafts, which is 120 fur. So we'll take all of the fur. Whoops. And then we will use that to make a bunch of fur hoods that we can then sell through the vendor. Yeah, we're going to stop selling stuff at the store, I think, unless it's an odd thing that we don't have much of. Because we're going to get full price out of these guys. Yep, I need that, bud. Oh, it takes 8 wool to make a single thread. Shit. And it takes 1 thread to make 1 fabric. Okay, so it's not... I don't know why, but I thought it was going to be a 1-to-1. I mean, even flax is 10-to-1. So we should have bought more sheepies. That's alright, though. As her happiness goes up, she'll be able to pull in more wool. So let's go to hoods and fur hoods. At least we can make 2 of them. I think eventually we're going to have to get another fold and have a separate one for goats and one for sheep. Because we're going to need a lot more wool coming in to make this something that we can automate. Also, the craft time on these is horrendous. And that's with the 30% craft speed. Right, boots. Alright, so at this point, it's basically going to be a bunch of crafting to try to get as far as we can down that tree. So, as we normally do at about this time, we are going to go ahead and call it on the stream. Because it's just going to be crafting at this point. So, if you learned anything useful or had a good time, please don't be afraid to drop a like. If you're feeling friendly, maybe go ahead and subscribe. But either way, have a fantastic rest of your night.